Malaysia, do you think like, do you think you see the unity in
on the syllabus or
and everything lah, the syllabus, the way of them teaching, the way the students the way students mingle among themselves?
Well, I don't know. When I was growing up because throughout my life I've gone to Sekolah Kebangsaan. Sekolah Kebangsaan memang we have that unity amongst all the students, Chinese, Malay, Indians. I don't think during school level we are even matured enough to know what is religion, race all about. We look at each other equally, we of course we learn about other people's culture during that process, but other than that we don't go about social structure, about your status, or we don't look at that. So school children, I guess it's the most purest form of how you want to mold them, and say like upbringing. This one, this one starts from school. This one. If you ask me, if you are talking about Sekolah Jenis and Sekolah Kebangsaan, Sekolah Jenis is a good idea also for those parents who want them to be proficient in itself with their language. Basic Sekolah Jenis is more of the language proficiency only. But I would say, my opinion is, let primary schools be Sekolah Jenis if they choose the children, so that the first 6 years, let them study, because the later part of being the teens, that's where they need to learn about being tolerant with the other races, you see. So secondary school maybe don't have any Jenis and have a Kebangsaan school, every area is Kebangsaan school. That's my opinion lah. But
I don't know about you, but there is this saying that they say that these young generations, they're like kain putih. That is the point of time where you actually draw on them and everything. So for me, I think for my opinion, it is best for us not to have the Sekolah Jenis Kebangsaan. We have the subject. We have the subject in the Sekolah Kebangsaan. That means there will not be Sekolah Jenis Tamil, there will not be Sekolah Jenis Chinese, all. We have the Sekolah Kebangsaan, but we have the subject. So from young, they'll be learning all of the subjects. So as you grow in sekolah menengah and then college, university, automatically you'll be practicing the language. I mean, you sometimes kita hidup berjiran pun, maybe this auntie at 2 doors ahead, is an Indian auntie, maybe she will talk to you in Tamil and you can answer her back, stuff like that. But whatever it is, it still comes to the education. If from young they are given this opportunity, they are brought up in that kind of way, then I think it is easy lah, because it's like already in the story. He or she has just to go on with it. So like that lah. That is my point of view lah.
Touching about education, recently there was a few people who brought up this idea, not about ideas, about the issue, moral studies and Islamic studies. Remember when we go to school, moral studies we go to moral class, Islamic studies we go to Islamic class. Okay, moral studies is all about, I can talk about moral studies because I went for that. Moral studies is all about how we, what is the moral and ethical ways in life. Okay, so there are theoretical and practical situations that we learn in the school as well. And some people were saying like, okay, Islamic studies, what this one. So maybe you can fill up. What is this one? Maybe in your Islamic studies, do you learn about tolerance and all that?
I mean, in every religion, of course, they are telling you to do good. Don't lie, don't steal. Respect your parents, respect people older than you. That is what we apply in every religion. But maybe the difference is maybe when it comes to the sejarah Islam, whereby you'll be learning about the prophets, the prophet's wife, about Mecca, what is Mecca, where is Mecca, and why do people go to Mecca, Haji and Umrah, how do you perform Haji and Umrah, stuff like that. But for me, it is no harm for other religion to learn about Islam, or Islam to learn about any other religion, because it's back to basic. You'll be learning how to be doing good, you not learn how to do bad. The extra benefit is you'll be learning that history of that particular religion. Itu je beza dia.
Because the issue was raised is that in Islamic studies, like in moral studies, we learn about tolerance. Do Islamic studies teach tolerance to their students?
Of course.
And when they said this one, no, this was one of the other person's view, was he's a Muslim also. He says Islamic studies more on the history and how it all came about, and about respect, love, everything. He told that. But it's more of the parents' responsibility, even for us also, it's our parents' responsibility to teach us the tolerance of everyday life. And I guess parents these days, listen, we cannot put the blame totally on the education system also. Parents also have to take a responsibility of upbringing their child, during the ethical way. And
During one time before our independence, they are practicing like British school, everything in English. Even, some of our grandmothers belajar sampai darjah 5, but they can speak, they can write, they can understand good English. Good English. And we are talking about English is our second language here in Malaysia, right? So, but what I realize now is people don't really speak in English. They don't really practice in English. I don't know, is it because of, they are not taught the way they were before, or they just don't have the confidence? But if there is something, like we are talking earlier, what we have started, the basic, which is good, we should just carry on. We should not stop. See, I don't know about you, during your time.
Well, honestly, if there's no segregation in the first place, we wouldn't have this discussion. Okay, I feel education is education full stop. No politics, no religious, nothing. No racial barrier, nothing. It should be just education and leading the children to become a certain professional, leading to a certain profession. At home is where you taught them the extras, upbringing. See, during our days before, we had to take up scripture, and as a Christian,